weekly encouragement. Plumbing is constantly humbling me in so many ways. This week, I realized that there's a difference between an honest mistake and a careless mistake. You see, an honest mistake is a mistake that is made after we've given our absolute best based upon what we know and based upon the opportunity that we were given in that moment. Whereas a careless mistake, that's a mistake that is made when we've chosen to do less than our absolute best effort. When we chose to cut corners. When we've decided to be lazy. No. That's a careless mistake. Regardless of which mistake we make, there is a different response that we need in order to continue growing. So an honest mistake, give yourself grace. That's one thing I do. That's one thing I've learned is important for me to do. So with the mistake I'm telling you I made earlier this week, it was not an honest mistake, but if it was, I would have given myself more patience. Okay, cool. I hate that it happened, but it was necessary for it to happen in order for me to, what I call, develop that eye. Your ability to see, it expands through experience, through time, through humility, being willing to learn from the past, as well as being willing to learn from other people as well. And as we develop that eye, only as you develop that eye, are we able to avoid making certain mistakes. But an honest mistake, regardless of how you respond to me, regardless of how the people affected respond to me, although I wish it didn't happen, I'm not losing sleep. I'm not going into a state of depression over an honest mistake, because there was nothing else I could have done to avoid the results. I gave it my absolute best in that moment based upon what I knew. A careless mistake, which is the one I made earlier this week, totally different response. Some people say don't beat yourself up. Oh no, there are times where you need to beat yourself up in order to beat the bad habits out of you. So that mistake, oh no, I was on top of myself. Yo, Jeremiah, why did you do that? Now see, if you would have just done what you knew to do, you could have avoided this. Why didn't you? Why were you being lazy in that moment? Why didn't you give your absolute best effort in that moment? Why didn't you go the extra mile for the sake of getting better results and avoiding this mishap, this headache, avoiding the time that was needed, avoiding the headache that was caused from cleaning up what you could have prevented from happening in the first place by just being a little bit more intentional? Different response. I beat myself up about that. And then I want to tell you too, sometimes you got to put yourself on punishment, because externally other people will put you on punishment. You got employers who will suspend you. Some employers will fire you because of certain mistakes. Your partner, your spouse will punish you in some ways and areas. So guess what? If we learn how to punish ourselves, we can be ahead of it. We can help accelerate our own growth. You know what? No more dessert for the rest of the week. I like dessert. No movies for the next 2 weeks. I like movies. But we need to prove ourselves proficient in this area, because this is unacceptable. There are times where you need to beat yourself up. But an honest mistake, I'm not losing sleep. I'm not beating myself up over an honest mistake. But I will be diligent with making sure that I understand the lesson. Whereas a careless mistake, I'm still going to work to understand the lesson, but I'm being a lot more tough on myself. I have to be, because I'm trying to beat out the carelessness. So there is a difference between an honest mistake and a careless mistake. And each mistake does require a different response in order for us to continue growing and maturing, which is my hope for you, which is my hope for me. So let's continue to grow. Let's continue to mature, and let's not think that we deserve any special passes. We're entitled to any special privileges just because of who we are. No. The journey is hard. The road is narrow. and it is oftentimes rough. But our Creator, who desires the best for us, provides enough help, enough resources for us to manage the duties of the day effectively and successfully. Don't doubt it. So be encouraged today to give your best, to be your best. Peace.